Hey guys, it's been a while, but we finally got a brand new video for you guys. And today, as you can clearly tell, we have the 2025 OTK REDSPEED. And so basically in this video, we wanted to not only show off the new card a little bit, we also brought out the older one, and we just brought it out to basically kind of do like a small little compare and contrast between the two. So yeah, let's get right into it. So right off the bat, obvious changes has to be the front nose and the front bumper. Really, that's the only thing in terms of the paneling. The only change in this new carts is the front nose and the front bumper. So the front nose, as you can clearly tell, there's a bunch of air like passageways within the nose itself. It's a lot wider, so most of the driver is mostly covered by the nose, as well as you actually have some I don't know how you could say like covering of on top of the nose. Basically, the driver is covered a lot more, and air is being redirected around the driver. When I was driving it, you could really tell a difference. Not necessarily in performance, it probably is a difference, but right off the bat, you can tell how much quieter it is in the seat. You get barely any wind noise, so that was pretty cool and interesting to me. The front nose, it's a lot wider right here, this opening. If you quickly just come over here to the old one, you can tell this is a lot smaller of an opening. This is wider, but the actual little tunneling right here is super small. Whereas in the new one, it's the complete opposite. The tunneling here is huge, and the outside right here is a lot smaller. And this one you might see a little bit different on social media, or if you watch any of the races in Europe. This bumper in America right now is a little different. This one doesn't have the little fins right here, and basically the fins just help with redirecting the air around the cart. So yeah, that's really the only differences cosmetically wise and obviously performance wise in terms of the aero on these carts. And so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to readjust these carts because they did change the brake system, so we want to get you guys a better angle of looking at the new brakes. Okay, so now we got the carts in a better positioning so we can see the brakes. So let's first look at the new one. So we're going to look at the slave cylinder as well as the reservoir, I guess you can call it. Right off the bat, obvious changes. We actually have some cooling fins here. Basically something like you would see like an air-cooled motor. So this basically helps with like hot days, or if the brakes are getting hot, it obviously helps cool it down. So if we look at the old one, we don't have any of that here. It's the system that they've had for a long time. Worked fine, but obviously closer, as carts have gone faster and faster over the years in these hot days, we have noticed some braking, fading and everything, but it was always great brakes. Anyways, let's go to the actual caliper. Same thing on the new caliper as in the fronts of the cylinder. You can tell that there's cooling fins as well, but the brake itself is pretty much the same thing. It's just that now they have cooling to them. And if we look at the old one, we don't have that. We have the old system. Also, once again, worked great, but like I said, on those really, really hot days, we did notice some fading, so it's a great improvement. When I drove it, obviously, we drove it 2 weeks ago, and it's so cold that you're not going to really notice that need for the cooling, but we have heard that these brakes are stronger, and I did notice, we still need to bleed them because the cart is brand new, so it's going through that bleeding phase, but yeah, right off the bat, you need little to no heating of these brakes because they're like right on it. Obviously, you have to heat up the tires, but in terms of the brakes, they are great right out of the pits, basically. So yeah, in terms of change, that is really the only changes we've seen on the cart. Obviously, if there's any changes to the chassis itself, we will never know. In terms of driving, it's been a while since I've driven. I didn't race at all this season. So, but the little bit of driving that I got, a new cart is a new cart. It responds to bumps and turns way better than an old cart does. But you really can't, beat on this cart. This cart was great. It still performs amazing, but we are just so excited to finally have a brand new cart again, as well as be some of the first ones here in the state of Georgia with this new cart. It's really amazing, and we couldn't have done it with our friends at WRS. They helped us get this cart and an amazing deal for us. So if you need anything OTK, especially REDSPEED, those are the guys. They'll help you. And yeah, so we're really excited. I'm excited to get back into it, and I'm gonna try this year to race again. Now that I finally had all my medical things done, I should be good to race. So I'm excited to get practicing again and just slowly get back into it and start racing this year. So yeah, guys, we just wanted to show you guys a new cart, and yeah, that's all.